Hi, I'm Fusheng, and I'm applying for the local committee president of Isaac in Utah for the term 2019. I'm 19 years old and I'm a PR student in Utah, and based on the MBTI result, I'm an extrovert person. But I used to be a quiet person, but the MBTI result shows that I'm an extrovert person is because I gain energy by engaging or having a conversation with persons more on one-to-one. My personal connection towards Isaac Way is I develop myself into a youth leader, whereas acquiring the leadership development models, which consists of self-aware, world citizens, empowering others, and solution-oriented. By ensuring myself to becoming a leader, I always make sure that I have the power to empower others. I have the ability to inspire others by having conversation with them. And also, to develop myself into a youth leader, I also have to be aware of myself about my strengths and weaknesses in order to improve my weakness. Isaac is an organization for everyone to develop ourselves to become a youth leaders, and at the same time also help us to understand about the world issues, which name of Sustainable Development Goals 2030. So being the leaders in Isaac, we are also able to understand people who are suffering around the world. We are able to aware of the people or kids that are suffering outside the world. There are people who are experiencing poverty, hunger, or some even kids that don't even have education. So we will only get to know this kind of knowledge when we engage in Isaac. That is why one of the reasons that we join Isaac to develop ourselves as a youth leader. And then for the next point is, there's a term in Isaac that is in Isaac Way stated that we strive for peace and fulfillment of humankind potentials. Through this kind of term, I get this knowledge by understand like we achieve peace by help to contribute back to the society by solving the 17 sustainable goals. For example, the most common one is education. Education is very important to everyone. But however, there are still some kids or children that doesn't have education, which is quite sad for them, and it is unfortunate. It is an unfortunate life for them. So what we can do as an Isaacer is to provide a platform for them to contribute back to the society by giving them the educations. And that is how I link my personal connections to the Isaac Way. Okay, so my personal connections towards for United Malaysia. First, I define how I perceive for United Malaysia. For United Malaysia, it is defined as everyone that is living in a diverse culture in a country, where everyone be proactive and take their ownership to make a better Malaysia. And that is how I define for United Malaysia. So how I link my personal connections towards this is I myself have to develop myself into a youth leaders. So through chain reactions, and I will develop more and more leaders. When we develop more and more leaders who have a sense of purpose in making Malaysia a better place, a better country. Imagine when Malaysia has more than 50% of youth is a leader who are inspired to make Malaysia a better place. So when more than 50% of people who are inspired in doing this, so that is where Malaysia has the hope to become a developed and more developed countries, where Malaysia can become a better place. The reason that I always emphasize on creating or develop more leaders through chain reactions is because that I believe that leaders is the fundamental solution to bring peace and to make Malaysia a better place. And that is why there's a united word in for a united Malaysia. When the leaders are able to gather everyone together to make Malaysia a better place, and that is where I define as for a united Malaysia.